Hello, I'm FKX Toycat, and it's pretty clear that the Minecraft developers want to update the enchantments found within Minecraft. This is because current development versions actually include 3 brand new enchantments, with each of those enchantments going up to level 3, effectively giving us 9 new ways to customize our gear. Speaking of gear, there's a brand new tier that's almost here, and one of the biggest benefits of netherite tools and armor is the fact that it is more enchantable than before. This shows us that with pretty much every single change Minecraft considers, they also consider updating the enchantment system, which is great because it is one of Minecraft's great sources of late game content, and that is something I seriously agree with and I've been thinking about for a really long time, which is why I figured I'd share 6 things which Minecraft needs to do to its enchantment system, because the enchants are now 9 years old in some cases and really need to be updated to reflect the modern game and the huge changes that it's undergone in that time, starting with something I personally think is key, because I really do believe that iron farms, gold farms, etc. are too good compared to mining, and there's 2 ways you can address this. There's nerfing those things, which we've seen a lot of talk about. We've seen a lot of hints towards from the Minecraft developers, but how about we just make mining better? And one of the easiest ways to make mining better would be to add a smelting enchantment. So a smelting enchantment would obviously make your pickaxe super hot to the level where when you find iron ore and gold ore, which are the ores where when you mine them up they turn into the ore block rather than the finished product, you could obviously turn those straight into gold ingots, or you could turn them into iron ingots. By itself this wouldn't be necessarily too great, because I mean the furnace part of Minecraft mining isn't the thing that makes it so much worse than a gold farm or an iron farm, but what if you could combine this with fortune, so you could get between 2 and 4 iron or gold per blocked mine. Combine this with the fact that gold is really readily found in the nether now, and all of a sudden you've got yourself a really great way to increase the amount of gold you're mining by a significant amount. If you need to get yourself, say, 6 stacks of gold, it's not like, oh god, how long am I spending in the mines versus just making a gold farm and having an infinite source. No, it's actually like, oh yeah, I could go mining for a little bit, I could explore my nether, find some brand new things that way, because Minecraft's always updating those sorts of areas of the game, and that is a really great way to not mess with the curve of Minecraft, not to alter the amount of gold ore and iron ore found everywhere, but if you know what you're doing, you know where to find gold ore, you can also combine that with enchantments and some late game stuff to increase the load you will get, and so you can do that without nerfing iron farms and gold farms. That's a really easy start, but I think another one that you need to do is you need to admit that, yeah, efficiency is also a really great way to make pickaxes more valuable, because having a diamond pickaxe, it actually feels really slow now once you compare it to an efficiency 3, 4, or 5 pickaxe, right? However, efficiency only goes up, and even then, you have to have a netherite pickaxe, or you have to have a gold pickaxe, or you have to combine 2 efficiency 4 pickaxes together. I think what would be great is if we have an efficiency 6 and maybe even an efficiency 7 level. Why do I think that? Obviously, there's a little bit element of power creep in here, but I think efficiency in particular, with maybe the argument being extended to sharpness, is one that you could really make the argument for, because to get efficiency 6, you need to get 2 efficiency 5 pickaxes and combine them together. Make that the only way to do so, and this is talking about increasing the number of diamond pickaxes you need quite significantly. I mean, to make an efficiency 5 pickaxe, you need 2 pickaxes. To get efficiency 6, you would effectively need 4 pickaxes, all at efficiency 4, and to get to efficiency 7, you would need 8 to all be combined together to make this mega pickaxe. And obviously, once you put mending on there, obviously it's not so big of a deal, but the fact that there is more effort required to get to the highest level, that's fun by itself, but the way better thing is the fact that once we get to these higher efficiency levels, we'll finally be able to instant mine stone in the overworld without having to bring a beacon around with us. This is key if you want people to explore new areas and to be able to do so super fast. You don't have to set up a beacon every single 40 block radius you go around, so instead what would be way more fun is if you could have efficiency 6 and efficiency 7 pickaxes. Again, these are late game items, they don't affect too much in the early game, most people won't be using them, but if you want to mine, if you want to do that instead of having to pick up an iron farm or a gold farm and work with those mechanics, it should be possible to mine for iron and mine for gold, because that's how all iron and gold is made on some level, and it should at the very least be a viable choice, as opposed to, haha, you don't have an iron farm, don't you need iron or something? Which is literally the current reaction that you see non-stop all over the internet. Even when on my Let's Play world, I don't have an iron farm, I don't think it's a fun way of getting it compared to mining, people just go, oh, you're just giving up on the ability to make so many iron things, and that's how it is. There is a section of the game inaccessible to people, and I think efficiency 6 and 7 would bring back mining in a significant way, because it would make those elements of the game more flex-worthy, but also way more fun in my opinion. I also think a great way to make enchanting more fun, to encourage actual decisions in Minecraft as opposed to just the one-dimensional pathway in the late game, game is to make enchantments for boots vary by armor type. In the same way, right now you have to decide between a chestplate and a elytra, a super enchanted chestplate or a super enchanted elytra, which is going to be better for the general world. You should have to decide between which pair of boots you wear. And although Minecraft is making gold boots a bit more useful because of obviously how the piglins won't attack you if you have gold on you, I think you could make a much more significant change by giving every single pair of boots an exclusive enchantment. So if we take Soul Speed, Feather Falling, and Frostwalker and apply them to the Netherite boots, because obviously Nether boots, it equals the ability to walk on soul sand faster if you enchant them. Obviously Feather Falling kind of makes sense with diamonds because they're relatively light compared to other types of boots at the same level. The Frostwalker enchantment could make sense on iron because I know iron is cold and it's white, and white is a cold color. Tell me if I'm wrong with my physics assessment there, internet. But then we could also have an exclusive enchantment for the gold and for the leather boots, and maybe for the chain boots if we really want to. So we could take the gold boots and we could give them the stomp enchantment, so you could deal damage by jumping onto enemies, kind of like in the Super Mario games. Would be super fun. I mean, any Super Mario style feature in Minecraft is great. That's where the elytra came from, fun fact. It's the Super Mario 64 wing cap inspired. We also have things like magic resistance could be great for the the chain boots, because they're kind of a weird boot you can only get through weird mechanisms. Why don't they make enchantments and potions do less damage? In fact, include the withering effect from the wither, and boom, now you've got a real reason to have magic resistance up to level 4 on these boots. And then you could use leather boots, which right now literally have no use besides being able to be dyed, which maybe you could argue is good enough. No, I think a great way to make these boots useful is to give them lower sprint hunger usage. I think given we have a name for your hunger going down faster, exhaustion, I feel like unexhausted or something would be a great name for this enchantment. Whatever you want to call all of these enchantments, having a different one on each level of boots. You could do the same with helmets later down the line because we have different helmet enchantments. I think having different enchantments for boots by armor type would be a great way to make your boots actually something you think about, whereas right now you put on diamond. In the next update you'll just put on netherite boots because they give you the max level of protection, and obviously combine that protection, it adds even more. But the truth be told, boots give you very little protection. It's only 3 armor points or 1.5 chest plates on your armor bar. Basically the difference between leather and netherite is only going to be 1 chest plate or 1/10 of your overall armor bar, or to put that in actual words, that is 8% difference. So yeah, if you actually wanted to have your hunger exhaustion go down from sprint, which could make a key difference in PvP, then you would put on your leather boots. If you wanted to be able to jump around enemies as part of your tactic, you'd put on the golden boots. If you wanted to be able to walk on ice, which is a really cool way to get away from people, you'd wear iron, and that would actually be a key part of your decision making process, which could make all of the people which currently just wear full diamond, eventually they'll wear full netherite. It'd be cool to see some variety between players, and adding to variety between players, I think what makes sense, or rather doesn't make sense, is the fact that we have the current enchantment system, which has changed so much since its inception. Now enchantments change so much about a piece of gear, and if you are seeing someone with enchanted weapons, you don't know what that really means. If someone has enchanted armor, what does that really mean? Is it level 1? Is it level 4? Is it fire resistance? Is it real resistance? I think it'd be great to see every single enchantment, or at least every category of enchantment, give off a different color. Right now the way it works is every enchanted gear is purple, but what if purple was the default, but then say if someone has a fire aspect sword, that makes the sword glow orange instead? That would be really cool, right? What if when someone has an infinity bow, the bow glows white instead? What if someone has chopping on their axe, which affects your shield decisions, their axe will glow red instead? Every single piece of gear could be affected this way. In an ideal world, they'd have every single individual enchantment be very slightly different, so you could spot based on looking someone if you know what you're doing, because we're talking about PvP, a thing which requires a high skill cap if you want to make it more fun. You could have every enchantment be different, but I think especially the ones which are pertinent to combat, i.e. which type of resistance someone's armor has. Is it fire? Is it projectile? Is it explosion? Or is it just regular resistance? I think these things should be different, so looking at someone, you can get a better feel for, do they just have armor or enchanted, versus what you could have is, do they have armor? How is it enchanted? Do you know the colors? Oh, you've seen purple armor for the first time in a while. What does that mean? I'd love to see this added to the game because it would really help with the meta for PvP, which is always a great addition, right? But what else is really a great addition, I hear you ask, or rather not ask, because this is a YouTube video and that's not a thing that you can do without seeming like a crazy person. Well, allow me to explain, because I feel like Minecraft biomes only run surface deep. This is literally true in the sense that once you go below the ground, pretty much every biome is almost exactly the same, and this is a problem. I feel like Minecraft biomes should be more differentiated, and although the surface is definitely doing a great job in differentiating, like this is a swamp, that is a desert, the two biomes look nothing alike, right? There's so much difference between them, even the structures, the plants, etc. different. They did a great job on the surface, but they kind of messed up beyond that, and that's why why I think, given that Minecraft is turning 11 this year, you know, there's going to be people who have been playing Minecraft for 10 to 11 years. People who play Minecraft this long deserve to be able to get a little bit of advantage from knowing that there are differences between biomes. And say, you know, right now, you know, if you go below a mesa biome or if you go into the Nether, you can find more gold, but that's about it as far as things below the surface. What if we took the most magical biome in Minecraft? It has witches' huts, which spawn with witches, by the way. In those witches' huts, you can find potions. There are slimes around here more often. There are magic mushrooms. What if these biomes, and they're, you know, kind of like common and annoying in a lot of ways, because I mean, their water's kind of garbage. We've gone over the things that make swamps unique before, and you know, they're kind of ugly in a lot of ways. People don't want them right now, but what if you did want swamps? Because what if we had, just below the surface, some lapis lazuli? What if lapis lazuli spawned way more often here, not just you know, like at the surface, you know, just in the subterranean levels, but at these surface levels as well? In the same way that you know, right now you can find way more gold in a mesa biome than elsewhere. What if you could find more lapis right here in the swamp biome than you could elsewhere as well? That would be a great change that made it worthwhile to specifically look for a swamp if you want to get yourself more lapis lazuli, which you'd want if there's lots more enchanting, but also so you can get more experience. Lapis lazuli, unlike gold, where you have to smelt it first, lapis lazuli gives you a great amount of experience just for mining it. And yeah, going to a swamp biome, finding yourself some lapis, mining it up is a great way to get enchantment, you know, stuff, the lapis itself, but also a great way to get levels if you want. So yeah, make lapis lazuli blocks, make enchantments, make all those sorts of things. Also get some experience in the most magical biome of all of Minecraft. I love it. Let me know what you think though. Finally, because we all know every item needs 6 items, right? It's a very catchy number. In reality, I just figured like 5 of something was like overdone, and I was gonna go for 10, but I didn't want to like artificially come up with ideas. But I really do think this last one needs to be a thing, because legendary enchantments could make the enchantment system much more fun than it is right now. Right now, the way it works is every enchantment can pretty much stack together. There's a few exceptions of enchantments that don't work with each other, but what if we had enchantments that didn't work with any other enchantment and could only be found in the wild? I mean, again, the enchantment system as it exists right now is a great system, and I'd love to see that expanding, but I also love the idea of using enchantments to make exploration more worthwhile. And if we had legendary enchantments you could only find in, you know, say a revamped end or a revamped structure, that would give people a lot of reason to go and search for these things. So what legendary enchantments could exist in Minecraft? To give a couple of ideas, what if we had Unbreaking 4, 100% non-breaking? Because if you don't know, Unbreaking 1 is a 25% chance for an item not to break when you use it. Unbreaking 3 is a 75% chance, effectively quadrupling your use. What if there was Unbreaking 4, 100% non-breaking? You never break while you have Unbreaking 4 on. This is super OP by itself, and that's why it has to be combinable with, again, no other legendary enchantments, and probably no other regular enchantments. I could see like one other enchantment maybe, but I'd love to see like Unbreaking 4 as a thing, because if you just don't want to deal with mending, especially on a pickaxe, right? You don't want to deal with mending, Unbreaking 4 pickaxes, you could just pull it out, do your stuff, and it'd be wonderful. Same with a piece of armor. Like, yeah, you'd give up the, you know, super protection armor, but in exchange, you'd have something that never broke, never had to be repaired, never had to worry about experience being got, which, again, when it comes to armor, it's less of a big deal, but for some players, it might just be one. And this is why I really do think Unbreaking 4 would be great, but I also think True Bound would be a wonderful enchantment. What if we made it so that you could keep an item after death? Again, this is super powerful. You wouldn't want to have this combined with anything else, but if you are really worried about dying and you hate the way it affects your stuff, what if you could keep an item after death? Again, maybe you could keep your Netherite pickaxe after death that you put a lot of effort into getting. Maybe you could keep a chest plate or an elytra that you know you'd have to go through so much effort to get back again. True Bound could be a wonderful legendary enchantment. It's not too powerful because it's just an item. It's not too powerful because you're never going to use it on the super OP stuff to avoid people taking your stuff when they die, but I'd love to see this enchantment and maybe even expand it to shulker boxes and give them an exclusive enchantment. Just saying, right? What if we had Poison Blade? And, you know, this could go on really at enchantment, but what if we had an ability to poison people using your weapon that could go 1, 2, 3 for 3 layers of poison? This would be a cool weapon to have, because you would, you know, not want to use this for anything else. Like, again, you'd prefer to have sharpness or prefer to have flaming swords, but if you could have a, you know, poison blade as a second weapon, it would really mix up the combat in Minecraft, because you'd go switching between weapons, making sure to maximize the combat timer, and it would add even more reasons to have multiple weapons of different enchantments for a meta, which could be much more interesting. Those, at least, are my ideas to change the enchantment system. Let me know what yours are in the comments down below. I really do think this is a great source of just like, let's throw these out there, let's have a discussion about them, and let's see if any Minecraft developers think they're a good idea too, because I really do think that the enchantments in Minecraft are one of the greatest concepts in terms of how it encourages you to still get experience, how it encourages you to still want to have more and more things in the late game for Minecraft, like you want in the late game for real life, am I right? Bad joke right now. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope that you find these things to be valuable, and if you enjoyed it, then let me know with a like on this video. I've been thinking about this all week, and I just want to get my thoughts into a video, so I hope you all enjoyed this particular thing, and if you did, I'll see you all in the next one, and if you didn't, then I guess goodbye forever.